The Blazers in shambles. Dame out. Urkel a collapsed lung. Neil O'Shea exiled for perversion. No, I don't know what he did. Some sort of misconduct. So you see their backcourt, Dennis Smith Jr., Norman Powell, Nasir Little was impressive. Steph, you know the deal. 15 away from tying the record, 16 from breaking the all-time three-point record set by Ray Allen. Wanted to get it done at home. I think we all felt this coming. You got the Blazers missing their two stars. Steph chasing this record. Last game before a long road trip, and it was a recipe for a lackluster night at Chase Center. I think the two best analogies for what Steph was trying to do is either in baseball where you say, well, if you try to swing for the fences, you don't hit the home run, right? Or in boxing, if you try to knock someone out, you don't, right? It's when you're not trying when the power comes. And it was unavoidable that Steph was going to press to try to get this done. And when you're pressing, it breaks your rhythm and your flow. And it kind of disrupted the whole game. Look, Chase Center was quiet. No one was taking this Blazers team serious. And so it led to just some sloppy, uninspired basketball early on here. I love this find from Andrew Wiggins. Does anybody make anything look more easy than Andrew? And to be fair to Steph, this is a huge deal. The all-time three-point record, right? In today's analytic world and ESPN, they love to make up stats and records, but this is a legit huge deal. So I get it. Take a look at Jordan Poole's mindset here. He's like, Looney, let me set you up, baby. Oh, you need me to do it again? No problem. Let's just run it back. Look at Dennis Babyfoot Smith Jr. By my calculations, those look like 10s, maybe 10 and a halves. Maybe that's his problem. He just can't balance out there with those baby feet as you see him get one back door here. You see Steph mishandle the ball here out of rhythm. I wonder at some point in the season if Steph publicly kind of asks for a better crowd, right? I get it, pandemic, all this stuff, but let's be honest, it's been mid. And I think it affects Steph more than any other player. He thrives off of that energy. Now, Draymond picks up an early tee, and he keeps barking at Scott Foster. I thought he was looking for an early shower. But Scott Foster was like, no, Draymond. You're going to have to endure this game just like me. I love this sequence from Poole because it highlights two of his weaknesses a year ago. Giving up backdoor cuts and then trying to do things too fast. And you see him do both of those things perfectly in one possession. Obviously, O'Shea's gone now, but it's funny how Toronto used Powell as a six-man, right? O'Shea was like, I know, let's trade for him, give him a big contract, and use him as our third option. So ironically, last night was the worst shooting night of the season for the Warriors, but Portland was more than willing to match us and even shoot worse from behind the arc. There's Steph's first, but he's kind of already behind schedule with half of the first quarter gone. Quick attack from JP and one high off glass. So Powell in the Dame role last night did it inefficiently, 26 points, got to the line a bunch. Apparently he stepped to Dame and was asking him like, look, what is it? You want to stay or leave? And he got that old Oakland two-piece. Nah, but I swear I've seen Powell with multiple black eyes. Here's a glimmer of light for Portland. Nasir Little looking like a healthy Pascal Siakam. A lot has been made about Chauncey trying to fix the defense. Look at this CJ LB kid here out of Washington State. That's just, you got to get out of the game. That's why you played 6 minutes. That's unacceptable type defense. But Nasir Little looks like he has some potential. I like his frame, his effort level, his athleticism. As Steph gets number 2, and they made him work. I'd like to see Steph get a little more creative and deceptive with his finishes downhill because clearly he's not getting the call. Back to Nasir Little, 30% from 3. But Nemanja, you can't let him rock rhythm dribble for about 8 bounces. All of a sudden, he's going to be like a 50% shooter with that type of rhythm. And then D. Lee, look, if he's not willing to take that 3 right there, the minutes are going to get scarce because we know Killa is on the verge. And he's just, I understood the first couple games, JTA trying to get another poster, and it's Nasir Little with a great block at the rim here. And the key to it was he got him before his peak. You see how he came and got it before he got to the apex. Great play. Steph, 6 of 17 from three-point range last night, did not shoot a free throw. So Dennis Smith Jr., top 10 pick, super bouncy, right? But you see the pick and roll action here. He doesn't really put a ton of pressure on you. He's not going to pull up and shoot, doesn't see the floor well. He's not a great distributor. I don't know what he can hang his hat on in the NBA. Automatic. I think I found an NBA misprint. They list Nasir Little at 6'5". Anyway, he had a career half, 18 points, and then got chipped up to start the second half, and we wouldn't see him again. If I'm Portland, I try to bamboozle somebody into taking Robert Covington. He's just a complete non-factor as Wiggins gets an easy split action 3-ball, and then Poole, that's one thing he's weak at, man. He lets guys blow past him left. but I know he'll improve because he's improved on everything else, right? And then Wiggins, look how patient he is out of that timeout. He caught that thing where he could have turned and dunked, but no, the agenda was get Steph the threes. Poole, remember, he's a tight window shooter. That's not to say he can't make wide open ones, but he prefers the tight window. And that's part of why Steph is so crazy, right? Tight window, big window, no window. It really doesn't matter when you're the greatest shooter of all time. Doesn't get the call. And then out in transition, this is a place where Jordan probably puts a floater up there or gets to the line. But the agenda was to get Steph the three-point shots, right? And I'm not faulting for it. I think they all just wanted it for Steph, and so it just kind of broke the flow of the offense. Steph gets hit with the same call he couldn't get on the other end to end the half. Just a groggy night at Chase Center. Third quarter, Kevon Looney getting served up on a platinum platter. And once again, it felt like one of those games that was tailor-made for Moses Moody and Jonathan Kuminga. They were in Santa Cruz doing their own thing. More on that later. But I'll be frank with you. To me, this was the least entertaining game of the season thus far. It just felt like they didn't even want to be there. Now, the positive spin on the game was it was the worst shooting night of the season, yet they led wire to wire throughout this game because obviously Portland missing their offensive firepower, but the defense was there, right? They played defense, and there was like 90-second, 2-minute spurts of no baskets being made in this game. And so that's in part why this breakdown is shorter, because there was nothing really to take away from it other than 10 guys out on the floor just kind of going through the motions here. Split action Steph, is this number 6, I believe? When we do find ourselves in these lackluster games, I'd like to see them lean on Poole more because of his infinite energy. I think he can just raise the game up. I was talking about our elite closeouts. Here's one from Wiggins. Late and right to the hand and doesn't touch him. The vultures are going to start to circle this Blazers roster, right, as it falls apart here. The only player that I could see us maybe peeling off is Plumlee, who's not playing for them. You maybe could get him for Chiozza. He's on a $1 million one-year deal just to have another true 7-footer on the end of the bench. How important has Otto Porter been, right? Like, he has been our sixth man of the year. I know we've had a great bench effort, but Porter's been so important, and I'm just nervous about his health. You see him make goofy plays like that, and you're like, you can see why he's had trouble with his health by some of the goofy stuff he does. The elite thing that Powell does is he's able to change directions at full speed. That's kind of his calling card. He shot 11 free throws last night. Portland flashes the blitz at Steph, and it doesn't work out for them. But Mark Jones was asking Mark Jackson, how difficult is it to get a player to focus and stay within your scheme defensively? And Mark was like, well, it depends who you're asking. And the point is, Portland doesn't have the personnel. It doesn't really matter the scheme as you see Otto start to heat up here. And here's the thing, when it comes to Otto's value for this second unit, when you look at Damian Lee and GP2, they're small enough where closeouts can affect them. Good defenses can take that away, right? Bjelica needs too big of a window to shoot, and Juan T's not a confident shooter all the time. Otto Porter, with that size and quick release, he can get that off under any circumstance. Peep the lady courtside, looks like she had one too many espressos. How many times do you think Dennis Smith Jr. missed recess because he didn't bring his homework to school? That's why he doesn't have a feel for the game, right? He was never out there on the playground. He looked like he was a badass kid as you see Juan T. It was almost like he saw the breakdown. He was like, oh, I don't have handle, Alk? Peep this. But let's be real, that looks like a big going behind the back. Like, when I mean he doesn't have handle, meaning he doesn't deal with on-ball pressure wear. When they press him, he just wants to pass the ball, as he should. And we kept them at arm's length here. Wiggins hits the three as Steph sat briefly. Look, there have been quite a few things I've been disappointed with from Bjelica. Rebounding is not one of them. 4 boards per 14 minutes a game, that's solid. They were in the penalty early, so we shot free throws down the stretch as Poole got off a little bit here late. I have one more take on Poole, and I think part of the reason he has become more patient offensively is he's realized how devastating that first step is. And so he's in no rush. He's like, let me look around here. Okay, well, I can just get to the rim whenever I want. And it's a devastating weapon that he's continuing to weaponize more and more. So we take care of business again. To me, really just a boring game. The rookies will be on the road trip, okay? I wasn't really prepared for this, but if they're going to be playing in the G League throughout the season, I'll start to do some coverage and breakdowns of the 2 rooks in the G League. So what I'll do right now is I caught word of Moody's performance. I'm going to kind of just do a live react. I ripped the video real quick. I haven't looked at it. I'll give you a little live reaction to watching Moses Moody's G League career high. What do you have, 37? Let's take a peek. Oh, damn, they got the nosebleed. This is what, when I have to stream my daughter's high school games, you get not this high up because the arena's not this big. Okay, he gets a two-handed dunk. Always start at the rim. Why Moody finished like Looney? He finished like a 6'5" Looney. Is that Kuminga? Yeah, this view is far. Oh, there's Kuminga. The top. Okay, bang, bang. They're in Los Angeles, it looks like. They got that baby blue. Okay, jumps the passing lanes. Is he going to blam this one? Yeah, man. So that going up with two hands, it's very vulnerable when you do that when you're a smaller guy like that. But Moody seems like he knows how to land. He sticks another one off the dribble. That was a contested three. The shot looks so pure. Remember when we broke him down at Arkansas before we even drafted him? I was like, okay, he has a ratchet, right? There's a nice right-hand finish scoop. He lingers around the basket, though. The one thing that's unique about Moody's archetype is his rebounding and willingness to kind of mix it up in there. As pure of a shooter as he is, right? You usually don't see that with shooters. Here he is again off the bounce. Okay, respect the ratchet. What's the score here? They've been losing, haven't they? Every time I've checked a score, they've been beat by like 20 points, but I guess such is the G life. Okay, that's a big pro hop move. Yeah, see, he can attack from the corners. I understand defensively he's going to make some mistakes. He doesn't have the greatest lateral quickness. But especially, look, if D. Lee ain't going to, is that an assist? If D. Lee ain't going to pull the trigger, I don't know, man. I don't know. You guys know how I feel. I feel like Moody, and this is a great confidence builder. That's fine. But I feel like we certainly could use him in spots, certainly over Chiozza. Okay, he's mixing it up here in the paint, man. How many rebounds did he have? I got to check the stat on that. I thought it was just going to be like 12 threes, but he's kind of doing it all over. We haven't seen a midi from him, but he uniquely finishes. There he is reading that play. That was easy. Oh, that's why you in the G League, player. Damn, I don't know how you smoke that. Yeah, he's surprisingly physical for a, quote, shooter, right? Okay, gets the low jump block. Is that Kuminga out there? Who's that? Okay, here's Kuminga's highlights. He had 25 as well. I will say my feeling is because of Kuminga's size and athleticism, you can take less away from what he does in the G League. There's just not big athletes like that. For Moody at 6'5" to do what he does, right, he's going up against like-sized athletes and wings and guards. But for Kuminga, he can kind of be a man amongst boys at times, depending on the lineup. And so I would take away less. But you can still see some stuff, right? He's playing around the basket. I wonder how many threes he hoisted up. Yeah, I love that quick attack, and he looks like he's willing to go left just as much as right. He's ambidextrous around the rim. You don't see that from a young dunker like that, little drop step spin. He's way more polished than Wiseman, y'all, and that's not like we can have both. I'm not like when we talk about this trade stuff, it's just fun, right? We're going to talk about it. I'm not like hunting a trade. It's just interesting banter. This looks like it's a 3-ball. Probably hear my dog snoring here at the end. Her lazy self. Again, I'll start to take a look at those performances, but my fingers are crossed that they join the team on the road trip and never get called back down. Yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath, though. Quick note, no Hezzy tomorrow. I got to pick up my cousin who's visiting for the first time in years here. So I'm excited about that, but I will be back with the Sixer breakdown Sunday afternoon and perhaps a record-breaking night from Steph. Y'all have a good weekend. I'm out, y'all.